learners were so tremendous and excellent in their thought process which they have shared with us. We were just having, really having, what do you call it, रोंगटे खड़े हो रहे थे हमारे. So after that, I mean, we will just take you through the regulatory reforms in the retail sector. And ladies and gentlemen, if the light goes, just think of that. Kangana Ranawat is ready for ramp walk. She is getting ready here behind the green rooms. So I can say that with authority because she is the brand ambassador of Reebok, which is our group company, Adidas group company as well. So don't get afraid if light goes. Then if she is not there, then me and Pankaj Bhai, both are from the retail sector, can do some ramp walk for you. So with this, I just quickly introduce my panelist, Satyajit. He is a practicing lawyer and he has wealth of experience in retail, also practice also, and he would highlight some litigation aspect on the subject. So that would be interesting to hear. And then we have a very young speaker, Tarjana, who comes from Snapdeal, the much talked about the sale channel as on date. It has gone to almost all the households and everybody busy at home, making some e-coms purchases every day, and the husbands on the weekends keeps on giving the payments to the COD deliveries. So that's our job because all the deliveries are taken on the weekends only, and all the bookings are done COD, cash on delivery, what it's called. So I have to sit in the morning receiving the packages. Pankaj Patel, a very good friend and also General Counsel for Future Group, is a company secretary as well. And he also has wealth of experience, and in fact he has seen the development in the retail sector for last decades when the Future Group came in, and it's probably the largest retail trading company, and it's a really revolution in the retail sector with the Future Group which we have seen in India. So with this, I would straight away hand over the dais to Pankaj Bhai to highlight the regulatory kind of evolution in the retail sector, as well as the what was the retail before 10 years, how retail has seen a paradigm shift, and what are the challenges still we face in the retail sector. So I'll request Pankaj Bhai to take over the dais and enlighten us with his views.
Thank you, Pulinji. Good evening, everybody. Since it is Pulinji, it is little difficult there because it's the last sessions. People are tired also. Listening to so many enlightened speaker, बहुत heavy भी हो गया होगा सबको. Just on a lighter note, I was saying I wanted to begin that basically भाइयों और बहनों. But then if I will start with मेरे प्यारे भाइयों और बहनों, then people will get scared because they will think that I am going to make some announcements, so they will get little afraid of what I will be telling. See, the retail as such, I belong to a company which was in a very simple business of selling everything and anything which a customer wanted to buy. Retail, a simple definition is basically we wanted to buy and a customer wanted to, we wanted to sell and a customer wanted to buy. But as there are retail has gone from the place where we have seen in the old movie of V. Shantaram, Do Aankhein Bara Haath, where we have seen that there are people, those who are going, the agricultural produce, they are going to market to sell the product, and thereafter there is an auction which is coming. I think the same format which is being shown in the recent movie of Mohenjo-daro also. From there now we have gone into the place where people have started buying from their mobile. They have also again from Angutha to they have again become Angutha Chhap, in the sense they have started buying everything from their virtual world. So we are coming in between somewhere where we are giving the consumers a feeling of a look and feel. Buying and selling is happening from the time human generation has started. Maybe it has started from the barter and all, but it has evolved in terms of It has evolved in terms of convenience rather than a cost. Initially, everybody wanted to buy, like if you have seen the Maslow's hierarchy of need, first is basically food, clothing, and shelter. These are the basic needs which everybody is expecting. So, today also, after the demonetizations, if you will see in our business, we are seeing more than 100% growth in our food business. Our food business is not down. People are buying the food business because it's a necessity, everybody is going to buy that. Thereafter, it will move towards the luxury items, it will move towards the items which will give an acceptance in the society, it will give a different feelings than the others. These are the things which are apparels, your car, your mobiles, these all things which will come on the second stage. So that business has been down for 50%, at least for this first 2 quarters it will continue. But initially what Mukesh Bhai from Reliance was saying, basically कि retail has started from farm to fresh. From the farmers it has to go to the consumer's plate. For going through that journey, there are so many channels, so many logistics which is going on presently. We as a business, if you will see, we have only created a retail as a brand. We have started a business giving a small story. We were only the textile manufacturer. If you see, all the Marwadi companies, they have started their business from a textile manufacturer. There was a first retailer who was there, who was an organized retailer considered to be, who was a Shopper Stops. We wanted to give our goods to them for selling. So when we were giving our brand, so they have told us that we can't keep such a cheap brand. That has hurted. Like Mahatma Gandhi, when he was being thrown out, even if he is having the first class ticket, he was saying, no, you are a coolie, you can't sit in the first class. The same way it has hurted to my promoter, and he was saying that in case if I was not, my brand is not being stored, is not considered to be sold to an organized retailer, then I will myself create my own brand. I will myself create my own retail brand. So from there we have started. Initially we have started with a franchisee model, in the sense of we have given our product to the people, those who will be owning their Pantaloons Shopee, and they will be selling, they will earn to the commissions, and thereafter they will remit the money. But that was not a very successful model. So then we have started our sale. The first store we have started in Pantaloons. Pantaloons in Garihat, Kolkata. There people were not believing that this person will be in a position to give the rental. So he has said we will be giving rental, we will be asking for a rental on an everyday basis, like a daily wages kaise hota hai. They were saying that every day you have to give us the rent. So we have started paying rent on a daily basis. Today we have more than 1,000 stores in a small and a bigger format, but still to that store also, today also we are paying the rent on a daily basis. Why? Because we wanted to continue that. That was the place where we wanted to recognize ourselves. मतलब that Lavari Samita Bachchan, the way he is saying ना, आदमी को अपनी औकात कभी नहीं भूलनी चाहिए कि where from he has started basically, and from there he has moved to a different level. Thereafter we have started realizing that retail is more about an shopping as an experience, shopping as an convenience. For example, we are not creating any brand. Of course now we have started selling our own brand and all, we have tied up with Patanjali also, but we were working in a rented shop. At the same time we were selling somebody else product. So what else we were doing other than creating a brand? We wanted to give a different shopping experience, which now my other colleague will say that now in a digital platform they are giving a different kind of a experience to the customer, which has appealed to the young crowd of the country. So we were telling that we will give you a platform where we will empower you. We will try to feel that the customers, they are not the people. Shopping is not something when you will pay and then you will get your product. It's a different experience. You will just walk into the stores. There are people those who are there to help you, to guide you, to show you the product at a best price, at a discount which will be variable on an everyday basis. At the same time, you will have an air conditioner kind of a feeling. 15 years back, I remember that I was telling my mother to go to the shop. She was saying, no, why should I go there? It's a big shop. It's not for me. So I told her that my food coupons which will get accumulated, and if you will not use it, it will get lapsed. What is the use? So after 6 months, when I persuaded her, she has went to the shop, and thereafter she became addict to go to that kind of shop. So they have started feeling that no, this kind of shopping is also there. If you see in the Gulf country, the mode of an entertainment is basically shopping only. That's why Dubai is more popular in terms of a shopping. It's not known for an entertainment, it's known more for the shopping. The point is this: shopping as an experience. takes you to an convenience. Thereafter, people thinks for a cost. They will not think for a cost. Of course, we give that cost benefit also. Today, we have started in the demonetizations that the people, those who are customer who are having a credit card, they can swap their card and get 2000 rupees. We are servicing, but at the same time we are thinking that the customer who is coming to my store, he will have a different perception for my brand. Okay, these people are wanted to help me to see that their customer should not stand in a ATM queue or in a bank queue, so they will start shopping. For 2000 rupees he will come and he will at least shop for 5000 rupees. So that is also an experience which we are giving. That's also a feeling which we are giving, which is associated with the brand. Now coming back to the challenges which retailers are facing, is basically the problem is what is happening. No, till today it is not being recognized, at least in India it is still not being recognized as an industry. We are being still considered as a trader. So all the anarchic law which was there from the British times of illegal metrology and food safety and an essential commodity is still prevalent is there. Most of the act, the provisions are such that if any violation is there, then immediately the criminal jurisprudence is actually being invoked. So all the cases are being filed in a magistrate court. So you have to, for that small case, you have to file the discharge petitions in a lower court or filing a caution petition in a high court. So it has to be seen in a different manner. After the present government, we have worked closely with the many state government, including the central government, and there are 8 states who have declared the retail policy to simplify the process. We all were talking about Make in India. The Make in India was possible only when the Indian customer will get the goods which was made in India and made for India. So when it is possible, when the consumptions will increase, and how the consumption will increase, when the easy availability or an excess of the goods will be available to the customers at his doorsteps. So after the advent of modern retail also, the mom and shop store has not vanished. They have still continued. On the contrary, they have started dependent on us in terms of majority supply. They used to buy it from our stores and they used to serve it to their nearby vicinity consumers. Same way, the digital market, it is not that because of the digital market, because of the online shops, the bricks and mortars will be vanished completely. Even though the online market who has came, in the long run, they both are going to support to each other. I personally believe this is a challenge which is happening. I think which is initial challenge because of the regulatory challenge of an FDI which is being allowed in a online retail by way of a marketplace and not in a bricks and mortar. So this challenge, this problem is happening in a bricks and mortar as compared to the online retail. But the point is, in the long run, both business will support to each other. The people, those who are buying online, they also wanted to feel that, for example, I have seen one store in Europe where the store which was there, which was having a complete virtual screen. So you can see that, in this kind of clothes, how much, how will I look? So for example, the screen will itself will show that, if you will touch that product, that screen will show that, you are wearing that clothes and how you will look on that. So that, it will be for the convenience of the consumer. So what will happen in the long run, it will help. See, technology can never substitute any business. There can be a business of technology. Technology can only help the business. There can be a technology business, but technology cannot substitute. For example, we started communicating with each other instead of a phone by WhatsApp, but that has not stopped communicating with each other. The mode has changed. Same way, in the long run, this business, like omni-channel is coming, the long run, this business will help to each other, and retail challenges which we are facing because of the anarchic law which is being there from a British age, because of the various retail policy which is being formed, maybe will be simplified. Over to Pulinji in case from my other colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Pankaj Bhai. In fact, you have already touched upon the question which was hovering in my mind. It's basically how the brick and mortar stores vis-a-vis the e-com sale channel are going to compete with each other. But as you have rightly said, that technology cannot substitute one model of sale channel or to other. But still, the experience which a brick and mortar is bringing to the customers at large, that is something still remarkable, and going forward, this will keep on evolving, I believe. And Yes, we have been experiencing the e-com channel sale also, where it has become a part of the every household almost in all tier 1, 2. I don't know what about the tier T3 city that my colleague from the Snapdeal would be able to highlight on that. But how far we have reached to the remote areas and the villages in e-com channel sale model. But as far as the brick and mortar experience is concerned, certainly things are growing up, and gone are the days where people would prefer to go to the brick and mortar stores, and there's a Lalaji sitting over the plank, and there's no chair. You sit on the gadda and all that and do some shopping. And if somebody has to buy sari, then he has to go to a particular shop, and kind of situation. And that reminds me also, they still, I mean, you have a lot of sweets shop which are internationally or nationally branded, like Bikaner Wala and Haldiram and all that. But still, in the mind of the older people, he is still a halwai. So if you talk about them, they'll say हलवाई से ले आओ जाके, मतलब कौन सा हलवाई माता जी, तो वही बीकानेर वाला जड़ा है आपके. So still he is halwai, but now the concept of halwai, he is giving a different kind of services there. You have the different feeling over there. So with this, I would ask my friend Satyajit to take over. And before I come to Satyajit, because Satyajit would certainly like to highlight some case laws, because most of the presence here, audience are the lawyers, and they would like to understand. And I see some friends from the retail business also, they would like to understand from the kind of litigation point of view. Before that, I would go to Tarjana, because right hand side I have brick and mortar, and left hand side I have e-com channel. So I would hand over the dash to Tarjana to take us through the how e-com channel is evolving and what are the challenges before the industry.
Thank you, Pauline sir. As Steve Jobs said, the consumer is confused. They don't know what they want. We all had internet, we all had smartphones, but we didn't know what to do with it. Then e-commerce came, all the online websites came, and we started searching. First we were confused, what to do with, whether we should purchase it or not, whether I'll receive the product and it's appear on the website or not, how to make payment, whether I should give my credit card details or not. But with time we have all overcome all these challenges. And e-commerce, there is a general perception it's only about discounts, but I see more it as a convenience. I can go whenever I have time, just to check the website and what product I want, all the product description is there, the right image is there, and I can get all the details within a 1 or 2 day. I can make my decision what to buy, what not to buy. And there is one challenge faced by e-commerce is that there is a segment in society, they just want to have a look and feel of the product. So yes, on online we cannot provide that, but there are advanced features are coming where you can click your picture and just try the products, and you can give your measurement and just see how the particular dress will look on you. All the e-commerce companies they are coming up with advanced UI UX, which is user interface and user experience, where you can just enlarge the picture and just see how the product is, its threads, and how the color is and all. So e-commerce, when you see the products, it's we have general perception, okay, it's different on the website, but what will I receive is different. So we have overcome that challenge now. As Mr. Pankaj rightly said, e-commerce and retail, they will, in the long run, they are going to support each other. It's not that there is general perception in e-tail is going to kill retail, but no, ultimately the sellers are listed on the website are the sellers who are in the retail industry only. It's not that it's the products are coming somewhere else, and the how the industry has defined e-commerce industry as a marketplace model and the inventory based model. But if you see in the marketplace, the sellers are listed are the same sellers who are selling on involved in the brick and mortar. So, thank you.
Yeah, but Tarjana, I mean, a lot of changes and regulatory reforms are happening in e-com channel also, and there has been a lot of request to the government also, and government is also looking into that, and a lot of kind of how do you see that in coming few years how the e-com is going to shape up, because right now we have a lot of consolidation in the e-com sector as well. So we are virtually living with the kind of, consolidation, in the sense that few major players are there in the market now, and then, kind of mergers are happening here and there. So how do you see in the kind of liberalization being done also now, the single brand retail also, they are also in a way permitted to do their own retail, e-com channel sale. So do you think that there is a threat from that sector also, where a single brand retail, like I am in Adidas, I am selling Adidas product through the brick and mortar stores, and then at the same time I have a permission for single brand retail and I can do my e-com channel as well, but I will be selling my own product only. But does it make a difference having a marketplace where you have a lot of competitors' product vis-a-vis a single brand retail who is doing their own e-com sale? So would you see any threat, or would you see a better competition in the market?
I see it as a better competition because when I want to buy any shoe, so I'll just go and check online. Okay, I just want to check the design, color, size, everything. So I agree there is brand loyalty, but at times I just want to explore also. So I'll just go and check other brands are available also. So
Correct. So
on
you have,
marketplace, and you have a wide variety where you just go and check all the size and colors of every product. So.
yeah, so I think it would be a single channel where single brand would be selling their own product, whereas in the marketplace like Snapdeal and Flipkart, they would be having wider choices available to the consumer, and that makes sense. So I don't think that that should be in your view that there could be any challenge from that sector. Well said, and then I'd request our friend Satyajit to really take us through what he has to say on the kind of regulatory reforms in the retail sector, as well as the if any litigation which has impacted this sector.
Sure. Thanks, Pauline, sir. So, I mean, obviously, we got, I think, the much more important bit of the panel is already over. So, anybody who obviously was interested in sort of the issues which come up, etc., on a practical basis, may be disappointed, because what I will primarily do is throw up questions. As lawyers, I think I think we suffer from, I think, one problem, which is obviously we don't want to be caught on or latched on to one position, because we obviously have to at different times defend and deal and advise different people, which includes retailers as well as e-tailers. So, I mean, very briefly, I think I'll just take maybe a couple, 2 to 3 minutes to sort of take you through the broad issues which I'm talking about, and we obviously don't have enough time at the end of the day probably to discuss all of them. I think around the litigation related point which Pauline sir raised, I think this is quite interesting that if you would have followed the last set of reforms in the retail trading related FDI policy, you will see sort of the references to level playing field, etc., which arose in our view from the FDI related litigation which was there before the various forums, including before the Delhi High Court. I think a large number of the changes which the government made in that context was to try and deal in some manner with what the issues which the brick and mortar retailers took up. These included the fact that there was at that point of time no definition of marketplace. There was no, sort of written instruction regarding discounting, etc. So all of that was sought to be covered. Obviously, what they did was they gave, as the government, as the regulator, you can set out certain regulations, but in terms of how people interpret it and how advisors, etc., interpret it is, sometimes it goes far beyond that. So there were sort of, let's just say, points around the the marketplaces not influencing the price. There were other issues as well. Now, and obviously the fact was that they clearly distinguished in a large sense of the word between what a marketplace model is and what a inventory based model is. Uh, Obviously, there has been some sort of discussion around how FDI in retail trading was structured prior to that, and whether it would impact thereafter. I mean, we believe that structuring opportunities obviously continue to exist, and that would remain. Whenever, I mean, the entire issue is that there is between business and regulation. There's obviously they do coexist, and they will continue to coexist. And very quickly, I think moving on from litigation, a couple of other points which we believe have been coming up recently, and maybe I could throw the question back to the rest of the panel, is around when you talk of the regulations around single brand versus multi brands. How what is a brand? There have been some clarifications which have come on brand versus sub brand. For example, if you have Marks and Spencer Autograph is a sub brand, while maybe if you were using the name, one common name, logo, etc., possibly makes it a sub brand. How has that presented an opportunity for retailers who have sort of brands and sub brands to sort of come in that manner. In relation to, I think, in relation to discounts, I think I don't want to go too much into it, but again, there is a, with every sort of festival season, there's obviously all of these sort of various marketplaces run, various sales. How are those functioning? Is the need for more regulation, or have we done enough? And we should, law and regulations should step back, and really it's the marketplace which will fend for itself, and competition should be given the stand. Interestingly, I believe some of the matters had been taken to the Commission earlier in the past year or two, and the Commission has in most cases not interfered. So I'll throw it back. Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, as far as the kind of sub brands, coming to your first question, point, that the brands and the sub brands, the FDI clearly defines that if you are coming into single brand retail, then you have to have your own brands. I mean, you cannot go into any other brand. But the question of sub brand is still there. I mean, as long as your main brand is affixed on the products, then there's absolutely not an issue. Because, for example, the Adidas has one brand called Neo, but it always precedes by Adidas Neo. So as long as Adidas is there as a main brand, sub brands really doesn't matter. I mean, we can always one can always do under the sub brand also, but it has to be main brand clearly represented in the products. So that is one thing. As far as the discount sale is concerned, there is a typical problem being faced by the entire retail industry as of now, is that the discount sale. I mean, it's coupled with the discount sale also. Whenever there is a discount sale, things are prominently shown that like 40% discount, 50% discount, and there is a fine print below that, the VAT extra. So once we talk about that, the MRP is 1,000 rupees, that includes all the taxes and all inclusive. And when I announce that I am giving 40% discount and then charging VAT extra, as far as the revenue is concerned, there is absolutely no loss to the revenue. But what about the consumer? So a lot of consumer forums are coming against this kind of point of sale, where we are announcing that it's a 40% flat discount, or whatever way we want to write it to really catch the eyes of the customers. That's one of the kind of market strategy of all the retailers. So there is a problem again. I mean, if you write that, okay, effectively it is coming 35% discount, I have to absorb the VAT, then it's 35% discount. But 35% discount may not be so much of eye-catching for the consumer. If I write 40% and VAT extra, VAT has to be paid by the consumer. So there are arguments and the counter arguments from both the sides. But things, I mean, the battle still goes on. But ultimately, it is realized by the retailers that, kind of VAT extra writing and charging on the discounted product VAT is something which we have to do away. So it's sooner is the better, and people are really realizing that, and they are coming to the terms, and they are really working on that very hard. So these are the things. And as far as if I take you through the, kind of revolution which has happened in the FDI, and kind of liberalization has been done by the government, there has been tremendous growth, I mean, tremendous development in that sector also, because in 2006 we have a very traditional kind of, 50% FDI with approval route, through the approval route. And since 2006 to 12, there was nothing done in the FDI sector. And in 2012, the FDI was allowed to the extent of 100% with the through the approval route. And again, I mean, 2013, I mean, the changes quite frequently happened after 2012. 2013, again, the 49% came in through the automatic route where no approval was required. And then again, in 2015, the policy, a consolidated policy was brought in, and then a lot of clarifications were given, and few conditions were also imposed. This 30% liberalized in the local sourcing for the single, FDI, which was 30% mandatory local sourcing was there. That has been eased out to the cutting edge technology like Apple or many other, high-end products where there cannot be any local sourcing. So they have been given some kind of, leverage on that. They have been given certain relaxation over there. Now it has made that, first for cutting edge technology industry, for 3 years there is no local sourcing requirement is there. So these are the things which are happening, and earlier it was, the FDI route also mandated that only the brand can be, the brand owner can only have the foreign direct investment in India. But now that has also been relaxed. So, and most significantly, the recent development in 2015, late 2015, which has happened that, wholesale trading companies have been given permission for their single brand retail as well. But earlier it was not there. In fact, if you are having a wholesale trade company, then you cannot venture out in single brand retail. So meaning thereby that, you have the franchisee model of sale, and then you cannot have your own retail as well, because the concept or the thinking of the regulatory was there somehow that, kind of the franchisee may get neglected. But that has also been done away, and fortunately that has been also looked into by the government. Government says fine, if you are, as long as you are able to maintain the separate arms for both the business, the same can be done under the same entity. So having said that, there are a lot of development has happened and many more, the ways to go. And as the retail sector is there, the growth has been tremendous in past few years, and it's moving towards on a very higher scale. And Pankaj bhai, if I again come back to you, and if I ask you a question as to how you really see, I mean, again, the question comes about the brick and mortar. I mean, see, the e-com channel cannot substitute, I mean, the technology cannot substitute, as you have rightly said. But you started with, kind of the smartphone applications and the, kind of things. How do you see the marriage between the brick and mortar and the technological aspect through, buying through the smartphones and the kind of e-com channel, or utilizing the e-com channel in the brick and mortar? How do you feel? I mean, let me put it to a very simpler way. Do you feel that the smartphones are also going to help you in a brick and mortar model? If yes, how you see the, in times to come, these technology can, really help in brick and mortar model of the business?
In case of bricks and mortar, see, I just wanted to give a small background basically. There is one misnomer which is going on in an FDI policy in respect of a single and a multi-brand retail. in the entire world, India is the only country where there is a distinction of a single and multi-brand retail. Nowhere in the world this kind of a distinction is there. Nowhere. If you can just do the Google also, you will find that India is the only country which is having this peculiar FDI policy mentioning that single and multi-brand retail. Because somewhere we are trying to protect our economy, because we were thinking that there was a fear in our mind that in case if foreign fund will come in the retail business, it will create a distortion in the economy. Nothing like it. Like in China, it's the equivalent size of an economy. Maybe it's more. There 100% FDI is allowed, but still there the local retailer is more popular. On the contrary, in India there is more challenge to the foreign retailer as compared to in domestic. Why? Because India is a very complex market, because India has a more state than the country which is there in Europe. India speak more language as compared to the countries those who are the languages are which is being spoken in Europe. And the diversity which is there in India, it cannot be addressed by a foreign retailer. That is what my principal understanding. Like when the foreigner like Walmart who has came, who has done the joint venture with Bharti, which we recently acquired. We asked that why you are not able to do the retail when you are the largest retailer in the world. They were saying that we understand retail, but we were not able to understand India. That is the problem. Because India is a very complex market as such. It has a lot of opportunity, of course, that way it has a lot of challenges also. Then coming back to your question where you are saying that how the smartphone will help and all. There is one news item which has came just a couple of days back. The largest investor in the world, Warren Buffett, he has sold up his majority stake in a largest retailer of the world company, Walmart. Why? Because they were thinking that that will not stand before this smartphone. It will not stand before online platform and all. But that is not the case in India. I still strongly believe, because like when we were the first who have started the online retail. Future Bazaar was first before even the Flipkart and Snapdeal who has came. Prior to that, Future Bazaar was there. It is still running on. But that was not a very successful model. Other online retailer has gone based on a valuation model. They were thinking that if we show a larger sales volume on our platform, there is a larger valuation. But no business in the long run can run consistently on a loss. Even if there is a loss, that business valuation is higher. So bricks and mortar, like in our store, if somebody is coming, we are giving now free Wi-Fi. We are providing people we are having the website in respect of most of our product, like John Miller and everybody. He can see the product on the website. He can visit to the store to see that whether the color combination and everything is the same which he has seen the site, and he can be helped. The discount which he has taken it on the site, he can take it. Like Ezone online is also there, and Ezone store is also there. So Ezone online, if you have seen the product which is there on the store, and if you have seen the features, but if you think that the pricing are much better on the online side, you buy it from there. So both are helping that way. This fight between the online and the offline bricks and mortar has happened because of there is an anomaly in the FDI policy. Why? Because FDI policy does not allow any direct investment in a multi-brand retail, which I was telling is another confusion which has been created by the policy, while it is allowing 100% FDI in a marketplace model. So marketplace model, since it's a new, so they are giving a discount, so they are creating their customer base. So that customer is of course going from the bricks and mortar only. Or there are new customers, because we being the large economy which is having a 50% young populations, they are the people, those who are going on a virtual world, because there are 90 crore mobile users, and out of that around 50 crore smartphones are there. So I think their business will be flourishing. But what will happen in case if this anomaly which was there in an FDI policy, which we are trying it out, will be removed, which by definition of a marketplace, it will be removed, the both business in the long run will definitely support. On the contrary, what will happen, for example, one very big retailer, he was saying that when you are selling bricks and mortar, because then why don't you tie up with us for that, so that we will be in a position to offer to our customers the feel which they were missing in our the site. At the same time, our customer, which is only there in a virtual world, we can take it to your store. So both will help to each other. That deal we have done it. Of course, it has not worked well, but that will definitely happen in the long run. That is what I strongly believe.
Thank you, Pankaj Bhai, for deep insight, and I really like your kind of harmonious relationship and your attitude, or your approach of harmonious relationship between the e-com channel and the brick and mortar. I have a very small question to Tarjana to ask. Let's suppose you have two options to buy a product from a e-com channel. I mean, as a customer, I am asking you, not as a Snapdeal counsel. You have an option to buy a product through online as well as in a very swanky or good kind of looking brick and mortar where you are greeted by a broad smile by the salesman, and then offered a welcome drink, and then you are made comfortable in this shop, and then you buy the same product from them. What would be your take on where would you like to go? I mean, as a customer.
So Pulin sir, let's ask this question to audience. How many of you would like to buy any product online? Raise your hands. And how many of you would like to buy products offline?
No,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, see, that's coupled with the offer that you are having continuous ramp walk and all that, all fashion show and everything is going on. You are treated with the welcome drink and, with broad smile, somebody is holding the package for you. What kind of, really, I think the audience has shown that, still the brick and mortar is more preferable mode of buy rather than, and those who are the lazy bones, they would like to buy through the e-com channel because they don't want to go. And mostly husbands have raised the hands that they want to buy through, e-com channel only because they are only required to pay the amount, and they know that there is no much of option because the product has already come in. So thank you very much for this. I mean, giving us a patience hearing, and at the fag end of the day, where we are set for the next ceremony. And welcome, sir. Justice Mridul, we welcome here in the audience, sir, and we are really delighted to have you on this forum, sir, today. So with this, I would like to conclude my session. I will not hold between the celebration which is going to happen after that. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks.
Thank you.